For decades, the world's bargain was simple, a seemingly straightforward exchange that powered modern life. We, the consumers, paid a handful of Middle Eastern nations handsomely for their vast reserves of oil, the lifeblood of our economies. This black gold fueled our cars, heated our homes, and powered our industries, and in return they became unimaginably wealthy, accumulating fortunes that seemed beyond comprehension. That wealth, initially spent on conspicuous displays of opulence like gold-plated jets and private zoos filled with exotic animals, symbols of their newfound status, is now being strategically unleashed on the global stage, transforming from mere personal indulgence into a calculated exercise of economic power. The Gulf's royal families, the ruling dynasties who control these immense sovereign wealth funds, especially in Saudi Arabia, the kingdom at the heart of the oil world, the UAE, with its glittering skylines and ambitious visions, and Qatar, a small nation with outsized influence, are now strategically buying up assets across the globe at a breathtaking pace, diversifying their holdings and securing their future. It's not just traditional investments like stocks and bonds anymore. They're moving beyond the conventional. It's the sports teams you cheer for with passion, becoming owners and shaping the future of the games we love, the video games you play for entertainment, investing in the companies that create the virtual worlds we inhabit, and the media you consume daily, influencing the narratives and information that shape our understanding of the world. Their influence is now woven so deeply into the fabric of Western culture and commerce, permeating our economies and cultural institutions, that it's becoming nearly impossible to untangle their investments from our own systems, creating a complex web of interconnected interests. Why is this happening? Because the age of oil as we know it is inevitably ending. The growing threat of climate change and the rise of renewable energy sources threaten their golden goose, the very foundation of their wealth. So they're racing against time to strategically pivot their economies, diversifying away from oil and investing in new sectors, before oil ultimately loses its value and their economic power diminishes. This is far more than just a financial strategy or a simple investment plan. It's a calculated, long-term power play to secure their influence and relevance in a rapidly changing world. What we're witnessing is nothing short of one of the greatest transfers of wealth and influence in modern history, a reshaping of the global economic order. The Gulf oil giants no longer simply want to fuel the world's energy needs. They aspire to own and shape its future, exerting control over key industries and cultural assets. And whether we consciously notice it or not in our daily lives, we're all, in some way, now part of their new, incredibly expensive and strategically complex game of global influence. Take a look around. Observe the bustling markets, the luxury goods, the sheer volume of commerce. This is a glimpse into the engine fueled by the Gulf's sovereign wealth funds, or SWFs, state-owned investment pools with trillions at their disposal. These aren't just savings accounts, they are dynamic forces shaping global markets. Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, a powerhouse driving the kingdom's diversification efforts, the UAE's Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, a seasoned investor with a global portfolio, and the Qatar Investment Authority, known for its strategic and often bold investments, are the biggest players. Together, they manage over $4 trillion, a staggering sum, enough to buy entire industries. From tech startups to established manufacturing giants, their reach is vast. These funds don't just invest, they are active participants in the global economy. They transform. They reshape companies, industries, and even entire economies. When the PIF buys in, it often takes over, implementing its vision and driving strategic change. In 2023 alone, Gulf SWFs accounted for nearly 60% of all global sovereign fund deal-making, demonstrating their increasing dominance. Their investments can prop up industries, create new ones, fostering innovation and economic development, and send shockwaves through markets. Their decisions can trigger rallies or spark corrections. But this isn't just about profit. There's a bigger picture at play. These funds answer directly to their monarchs, not shareholders, meaning their objectives extend beyond mere financial returns. Every investment is a political move, a carefully calculated step on the global stage, a way to project power and rebrand their countries, enhancing their international standing and influence. They're building empires of influence designed to outlast oil itself, securing their future in a rapidly changing world. With trillions at their command, they wield immense financial power, They're playing a long game few can match, strategically positioning themselves for decades to come. The world's financial chessboard has new grandmasters, and they're rewriting the rules of the game. What do you do with a multi-trillion-dollar fund? How do you even begin to deploy such vast resources? It's a question that echoes in the halls of global finance, a challenge that demands both vision and precision. You buy a bit of everything. Diversification is key when managing such immense wealth. From consumer goods to cutting-edge technology, the goal is to spread investments across a wide spectrum of industries and assets. Gulf SWFs own slices of iconic skyscrapers, symbols of global commerce and architectural ambition. These towering structures represent not just real estate but also a stake in the economic vitality of major cities around the world. Blue-chip tech, the engines of innovation that are shaping our future. From Silicon Valley giants to emerging startups, Gulf SWFs are investing in the companies that are driving technological progress, and major financial institutions. These investments provide stability and access to the heart of the global financial system. They are the cornerstones of a diversified portfolio, ensuring long-term growth and resilience. But now, their shopping spree is public, and focused on sports and entertainment. This shift represents a new era of investment, one that prioritizes cultural influence and global visibility. Qatar's QIA bought Paris Saint-Germain, a move that signaled a bold entry into the world of professional sports, turning it into a football powerhouse. The investment transformed the club, attracting world-class talent and achieving unprecedented success on the field. Abu Dhabi's ruling family transformed Manchester City, injecting massive resources into the club's infrastructure and player roster into a dominant force. The result has been a string of league titles and a global fan base that continues to grow. Saudi Arabia's PIF took over Newcastle United, a historic club with a passionate following in the north of England, bringing deep pockets to passionate fans. The acquisition has sparked renewed hope and excitement among supporters who dream of a return to the glory days. Their influence extends to Formula One, where golf sponsors are prominently displayed on cars and circuits. Golf, with major tournaments now hosted in the region and attracting top players from around the world, and even TV rights, with golf brands everywhere. These sponsorships provide valuable exposure and reinforce the region's growing presence in the global sports landscape. By 2025, tens of billions will have flowed into global sports. The scale of investment is unprecedented, transforming the industry and reshaping the competitive landscape. This isn't a hobby. It's not just about the thrill of the game or the prestige of owning a team. It's a strategic invasion of the cultural landscape. It's a calculated move to gain influence, build brand awareness, and project a positive image on a global stage. They're buying the brands and events that command loyalty and attention. They understand the power of sports to unite people, inspire passion, and create lasting memories. In the 21st century, power is wielded in stadiums, where millions of fans gather to celebrate their teams and heroes. And on screens, where billions more tune in to watch the action unfold. And the Gulf wants a front-row seat. They want to be at the center of the action, shaping the future of sports and entertainment for generations to come. Why the frenzy? One word: diversification. For decades, Gulf economies relied almost entirely on oil and gas. But with oil's future uncertain, they're racing to build new industries, fast. Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 aims to rewire the kingdom's economy, building new sectors like tourism, tech, and sports. The UAE and Qatar are investing billions to become global hubs for finance, logistics, and tourism. These aren't just vanity projects, they're insurance policies for a post-oil world. By buying global assets and building new industries, the Gulf is creating new revenue streams for the future. It's a high-stakes race to stay relevant as the world changes. Beyond economics, there's a subtler goal: soft power. Owning football clubs or hosting major events boosts a country's global image more than any speech. The 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar was a multi-billion-dollar ad for brand Qatar, controversies and all. Manchester City's success links Abu Dhabi's name to victory and modernity. This is soft power, using sports to build bridges and foster national pride. Gulf owners gain access to politicians and business leaders, forging invaluable relationships. Every sponsorship, every trophy is a move to shift global perceptions. Gulf Airlines have mastered this, their logos now synonymous with top-tier sports. Every fan, every jersey, is part of a meticulously crafted brand. It's a long-term strategy to win loyalty and reshape reputations. They're not just buying teams, they're buying hearts and minds. But this sports takeover has sparked fierce criticism: sportswashing. Critics say Gulf states use sports to distract from human rights abuses and controversies. The 2022 World Cup in Qatar highlighted migrant labor issues and grim working conditions. Saudi-backed LIV Golf and football club takeovers have drawn accusations of reputation laundering. Supporters argue that engagement can encourage reform, but many see it as a cynical PR ploy. The debate over money, morals, and sport is only getting louder as golf investments grow. One thing's clear: the more golf money flows into sports, the tougher the questions become. The Gulf's ambitions don't stop at traditional sports. They're conquering gaming and esports. The gaming industry is now bigger than movies and music combined, with a young global audience. Saudi Arabia's PIF has invested over $20 billion in gaming giants like Nintendo and Activision Blizzard. By 2030, they plan to spend $40 billion more, aiming to make Saudi Arabia a global gaming hub. The Esports World Cup in Riyadh will offer the largest prize pool in esports history. This isn't just about money, it's about building a tech-savvy workforce and a future-proof economy. By dominating gaming, the Gulf is betting the future will be played on screens, and they're determined to own the game. The Gulf's investment spree isn't impulsive. It's a multi-generational strategy. They're using oil wealth to build an empire of influence for a post-oil world. Investments go far beyond sports. AI, biotech, renewables, and digital infrastructure are all in their sights. At home, futuristic cities and world-class infrastructure are rising from the desert. The goal: create a cycle where global investments fuel domestic transformation and vice versa. Unlike the West, Gulf SWFs can play the long game guided by monarchs' visions. They're investing for perpetuity, not just profit. The future they're building is forged in Petrodollars and designed to last. What does this mean for the rest of us? The Gulf's rise is reshaping global power. The old order, dominated by the US and Europe, is being challenged by new financial superpowers. Gulf investment brings opportunity, but also complex ethical and political dilemmas. Companies and governments must navigate the blurred lines between business and politics. Gulf money is changing boardrooms, diplomacy, and even the culture we consume. The sports, games, and media we love are increasingly shaped by Gulf influence. As the world becomes more intertwined with the Gulf, we're all part of their grand vision. The game has changed, and the final score is still unwritten.